Hello, we're back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties right at the end of the show. Who'd have thought it? But yes, let's get right back to it. John, you were saying you think you enjoyed this more than Kenny Moxley.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch that match to be sure about it. But I'm not a huge Sami Callihan fan, but he really impressed me in this match, and everything about this match was really good. Yeah, I just thumbs up for this. This made the whole show worth it for me between this and the Ultimate X match alone.
Yeah, I thought this was an excellent match. I think they really delivered on the violence without going too far. Like, even the pizza cutter, there wasn't stuff where I'm, like when I'm watching some, like, GCW death matches where I am going, like, I don't think this is for me. This still felt like pro wrestling to me. It told a great story.
Nothing from this match made you run and go crash in your bed like the Nick Gage documentary.
No, exactly not. I thought Callahan, who we've seen mainly as a heel for the last few years in Impact, played a really good babyface in this and was doing it for Impact. This really delivered and just showed how important a crowd is, because we've seen them do some no DQ matches, and sure, the violence wasn't quite like this, and we didn't have blood in these empty arena no DQ matches, but they were so boring because you'd have just have them brawl around ringside, throwing into the barricades, and no one's there to react. Having a crowd there really adds to these kind of matches. But both guys worked a really good match. I'm with you, it flew. Like 27 minutes, almost half an hour. It worked at such a great pace. This might be my favorite Omega match in Impact.
Yeah, hands down, I think so.
And Callahan's not one of my favorites, and I really enjoyed this. I thought this was an excellent main event. But that is not it, because after the match, as Kenny Omega is celebrating, the lights go out, the Bullet Club logo appears on the screen, and Jay White comes out holding the Never Openweight Championship from New Japan. He comes into the ring. Kenny's looking a bit unsure. The Good Brothers and Don Callis are looking a bit unsure. They stare down each other, and the Good Brothers and Don put up the Too Sweet. Kenny is still looking a bit unsure. He's not putting up the Too Sweet. Jay White is stood there, and Impact goes off the air.
We gotta go. This was great. I mean, the Bullet Club logo popped up, and it had like those neon lights. So my first thought was El Phantasmo. I was like, not really big of a surprise, but okay, that's cool because of the Bullet Club. But then Jay White came out. He said the King Switch logo, and I was like, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. Again, another outside the box surprise, which was great. And these two, I looked it up. They only had two matches before, and Kenny won one, and then Jay White beat him for the U.S. title in New Japan. So this would be their third match if they do end up having it. This is a great surprise. I enjoyed this a lot, and I hope that this leads to maybe more people popping up. Gorillas of Destiny could come back maybe and do something with the Good Brothers. But I like this whole leadership Bullet Club story they got going on here.
Yeah, this was a great surprise, and I thought, whereas last year I felt a bit underwhelmed with the surprises, I thought they scattered them out really nicely throughout the night. And you had someone like a Thunder Rosa, I thought was a great surprise, and you knew you were going to get a good match there with Deonna. And saving the big one for the end, Jay White, he's a big deal. Like, he's a former IWGP champion. He's the leader of the Bullet Club, Kenny's former faction. I was not expecting this, and I thought this was a great move and has me very interested to see where we're going from there. Apparently, after the show kind of ended abruptly, Finjuice ran out and Jay White hit his, what's he call it? Not the Switchblade. What's he call his finisher? The Blade Runner? Mm-hmm. He hit it on Finlay and kind of Finjuice left. So a bit odd. It wasn't even... I assumed their time slot was until 11. It was about 5-2, 10-2 when the show ended. But it definitely looked like there was more stuff we were meant to see. I don't know if Jay White eventually threw up the 2-sweet. I don't know what the deal there was, but a real shame because I thought this was a pretty good show. I enjoyed this, and it just Impact's going to impact, I guess.
Yeah, my first thought was, well, that was stupid. I did see like a glimpse of like David Finlay. I'm like, well, who is that? I think the reason for this maybe was because they want the last image to be Jay White and Kenny Omega, but then when they go to Impact on Thursday, they might show this whole thing, and that'll be like the way to set off like a Finlay match or a FinJuice match. You know what I mean? Like maybe they didn't want the focus to be on FinJuice, but they do want to show that footage at a later date to show up something else. Kenny was eyeing that title, that never open weight title. I mean, he has a title in every promotion except New Japan for this Bound for Glory show, and he kept eyeing the title. So maybe he wants to take that from Jay White. But it looks like we're gonna get this match, and most likely it's gonna be at Bound for Glory. I think they can hold off a couple months for this match.
Yeah, because I imagine you can do the story of is Jay White with Kenny to start with. Right. You can even have them maybe tag team, for a little bit. Tag teams that don't get along. Who'd have thought it? But yeah, there's definitely story there to be told. There's a lot of history between them already. So yeah, I think that sounds like a big main event for Bound for Glory. Kenny, Jay White. I'm very much into that. Yeah, good. I feel very positive about tonight. Apart from the W Morrissey and the tag match, I really enjoyed this show and delivered 2 excellent matches with the opener and the main event there.
No, it was a great show. Like you said, the opener and the main event were matches of the night for sure. And the way that they presented the surprises was so great because obviously they didn't want this stigma like last year of, Slammiversary is going to be the show where we just use all the WWE releases. And they strategically, I think, in a way, promoted it that way. Like, we're going to do the same thing as last year. Go look to see who got released. We're going to use them. But no, and what do they do instead? They bring in people from AEW, people from NWA, people from New Japan Pro Wrestling, which makes perfect sense after hearing this Bound for Glory announcement to be using all these different promotions. So I think that was great. So now when Slammiversary comes around next year, they're going to be like, well, who's going to come in now? Because now you have already all these different ideas of different promotions that could come in for surprises. They can just, next year, they might even have even bigger surprises. You never know. But I thought the show was great. I think there's going to be a lot of buzz coming out of this show. A lot of New Japan fans, a lot of Jay White fans, Bullet Club fans are going to want to see this. And you have all these different shows that hopefully they could all cross-promote. You literally got Triple Mania, New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, this NWA Empower show, and obviously the Impact shows that they're going to be all involved with each other one way or another with the talent. So hopefully they do a lot of cross promotion. AEW is literally the only one that doesn't roll with the promotion on these shows, and I feel like they should at this point. They have Kenny Omega there. Like, come on, like, how can you not be promoting this guy fighting one of the biggest stars in New Japan right now? You have to promote this on the show. You have to have these guys show up on Dynamite. I
feel like a Jay White they would. But maybe like a Rich Swann, no. It's but yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit more from the AEW end. But yeah, definitely has my interest. Looking forward to all these shows coming up and all these cross promotions. And I'm sure you'll be talking about a lot of it on both Shot in the Dark and your report. So yeah, before we sign off tonight, tell us what you've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I have to thank Impact as like the perfect promotional tool for both my reports and Shot in the Dark, because I will update you guys on what happens with NWA. Will Deonna Purrazzo show up? Find out on Shot in the Dark. What will Jay White do? Find out on the Impact reports. And obviously I'm covering all these other shows. MLW should be back soon as well with their weekly shows. I'll be talking about that as well. AEW is on the road now, so their shows are special now. I was hoping to talk about Dragunov and Walter, as that was my match of the year last year, but unfortunately part 2 is not happening whatsoever, just for now, but hopefully it will soon. So yeah, Shot in the Dark every Wednesday, and obviously in my reports I'll be covering all these shows, New Japan Resurgence, not sure about Triple Mania, but I'll definitely be watching that as well, and all these other shows that you don't have time to watch, I will, and talk about it in 15 minutes or less.
Lovely. And where can we find you, John?
I'm at CNOEvil, CNOEVIL. Catch me on the Facebook page making inappropriate memes. Catch me on Twitter commenting on my theories of wrestling and just news. And Instagram, everywhere. Same handle, CNOEVIL.
Well, there you have it. And you can find me at Davey Portman. And obviously, subscribe at UpNXT Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. And join that Facebook group. Braden and I have a lot going on. We've been celebrating Shark Week. We're coming to the end of Shark Week, so I do have to finish the show with a little shark fact. Sino, did you know that sharks don't have bones?
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
No bones in their body.
What about their teeth? That's not bones?
Apparently teeth aren't bones. Yeah. So check out our Deep Blue Sea review and our best match ever Shark Cage match. They're all on the Patreon, patreon.com/UpNXT. Next week, we're going to be talking about Watchmen, the Zack Snyder film based on the graphic novel. We'll be joined with Scrump from PWT Cast to talk all about Watchmen, as well as another classic episode of NXT, as we've just finished the Cassius Ohno, William Regal feud. We've got a match between, I think it's Corey Graves and Seth Rollins coming up, or we've just talked about that one, but it's a lot going on in NXT in 2013. And of course, listen to us every Tuesday for Up Next, where we review NXT, and every Wednesday for BD Elite, talking about AEW. We go live on Twitch 10:15 Eastern after those shows. And it's a double pay-per-view weekend, because I'll be back tomorrow with some World Champion patrons to talk all about Money in the Bank. You can join us here for our live watch-along of that, plus our post-show, which we'll upload later on the Patreon. So much going on. At Davey Portman, at The Brady. Yeah, give Braden a follow as well. And at UpNXT Podcast.
You might want to tell Braden to put on some sunscreen lotion, because it is an up next summer. And what happens in the summer, you got to watch out for the heats. And where there's heat, there's fire.
Oh, yes. Go listen to our BDE in the Bank special surprise show as part of our top 5 Money in the Bank moments. A lot of exciting things coming up in the UpNXT universe. But that brings us to a close tonight. We had a lovely evening. Tonight, awesome pay-per-view. Had good fun. Great chatting to you as always, John. Thank you for hopping on here with me. And we'll sign off now. So take care. Be safe. Ahoy!
Brace for impact.